Your team doesn't need more motivation, more discipline, or another productivity framework. They just need 5 minutes with you and one question every morning. So if you ever felt like your team is busy all day, but they're still not moving the needle, that's what we're going to fix today. Now in this video, I'm going to show you why your team isn't productive, what the exact question is, and how to turn the whole thing into a simple system that runs without you. Your team isn't unproductive because they're lazy, they're unproductive because they don't know what matters most. And because of that, everything feels urgent to them. Look, running your business is a bit like running an emergency room at your local hospital. And in the waiting room, you've got a patient with a bleeding neck, another one with a broken ankle, and some drunk college dude. And as the doctor, you're first going to triage the room and take care of the patient with a bleeding neck before looking at the broken ankle and finally dealing with the drunk guy. Well, in most businesses, your team is treating everything like it's the patient with the bleeding neck. They'll spend 45 minutes replying to a vendor who's complaining for the third time, something that could easily wait a day or two, while one of your top clients is getting ready to leave. So what you need to do is give your team a triage system that defines priorities. And that starts with listing everything on their plate, so make them dump everything from their to-do, their inbox, their notes, whatever, into a single list. But don't fall into the giant list trap where everything turns out into this giant list of 37 things that have to get done. Lists don't create productivity, priorities do. And if the priorities aren't clear, the list just turns into a red-hot mess of neatly organized bullet points, and you don't want that. So let's fix that with a simple 5-minute habit that turns our list of 37 tasks into a ranked list so they do the right work first. And this is the habit that helped me grow my business from 6 to 7 figures while cutting down my working hours from 60 hours a week to 20. So once you've built a priority list, there's another trap right around the corner that destroys your productivity. And it's the well-known "I can knock this out in 5 minutes" trap. You know, it's your typical quick email or the text you haven't replied to, or the coworker says, "Hey, yeah, got a minute for me?" And the dangerous part is that you can knock out 10 of those in an hour and feel insanely productive because you got a whole bunch of stuff done. But the truth is that if it's all busy work, it doesn't really matter. Because what's really happening is simple. You're being busy while the most important work stays untouched. So let's go back to our emergency room. You already triaged it, you know the bleeding neck is first, but then you notice that your patient has a splinter and he also complains about a headache. Well, you're not going to treat the splinter while the patient is bleeding out, right? But that's what happens in business. Your team knows the priority, but sometimes they still stray into small tasks because they're easy, they're finishable, and they give them quick closure. Here's the 5-minute habit that fixes it. Every day, ask each team member one question. What's the goal for today? And please don't accept vague answers like, "Yeah, today I'm going to finish up my admin," or "Yeah, I'm going to work on a project for client X." A real answer has a finish line and a measurable outcome. So it should sound something like, "Yeah, okay, so for today I'll get a proposal for client X sent by 2 p.m. and then I've closed the loop on top 3 support escalations before 12. And then you get them to commit to not touching any other thing until it's done. So they fix the bleeding neck first, and then they can handle the splinter. Now, this works as long as you're the one asking the question every day. So the real question is, how do you turn this into a system that runs without you? The problem with daily meetings or daily check-ins is that if you're not available for some reason, the habit dies. So what you actually want to do is to create something that's easy, repeatable, and creates accountability without you prompting them. Now, the worst thing you can do here is overcomplicate it. So because of that, we're going to build the simplest system ever using their calendar and an email. This is how you're going to stop also being the human reminder system. Starting tomorrow, every day at 9 a.m., there's a calendar block on their schedule called Daily Focus. And that's their cue to pick one outcome for the day, which is their version of the bleeding neck. And then there's only one rule. They report it to you in a simple format. At the end of the day, they send you a quick message. It can be email, Slack, I don't really care what it is, but it has to be in this exact format. So they tell you what the focus point was, if they got it done, and if not, why not, and what's next, or how they're going to fix it. That's it. It's not like you want to get a long status update. The email in itself doesn't even matter much. It's just to help them set a visible goal that matters and work on it until it's done. Now, if you want to add an extra layer of accountability, you can add a morning email too, especially if your team is newer or if you're cleaning up a lot of busy work behavior. Ask them to send you a message every morning telling you the daily focus. Then in the evening, they can just reply to their own message or their own email with that report. And this prevents the classic trick where someone then does a bunch of work or random tasks during the day and then declares that it was a priority after the fact. And if you implement this, you'll feel the difference fast. Not because your team suddenly works harder, but because they stop spending their best hours on stuff that doesn't matter. And when that happens, you get more of the right work done in the same amount of time. And over time, that's how you grow revenue without adding more hours or adding more people, and how your business starts needing you less and less. Now, if you want to keep building your business so your team depends less on you, watch this video next. It shows you how to build a team that can run the day-to-day so you can work about 4 hours a day without killing profit.